Greetings and welcome to episode 19 of Morrowind Modding Showcases. As always, I'm your host Dark Elf Guy, and this week we have yet another 13 mods to your viewing pleasure. This time around we don't really have a particular theme in mind, so these are all a bit random. Still, you can find the download links for each mod down in the description below. Now why don't we go ahead and get started with our popular mod of the week. Which this week is Dark Brotherhood Armor Replacer by Dimitri Maziras. This mod gives the Dark Brotherhood a more distinctive armor style, as you can see here with these assassins. Alternatively, you can also have a version where the different Dark Brotherhood ranks have different coloured armors, as you can see here. They're quite the colourful group of deadly assassins, aren't they? In addition, Dark Brotherhood assassins also have an all-new set of weapons to attack you with now. You can see a bunch of them here. Quite the deadly looking weapons, aren't they? Naturally, you can wear this armor for yourself and become quite the stylish assassin. For this week's house mod of the week, we have Balmora Balcony House by Ravensong. This mod adds a new house to Balmora's market district, with a balcony overlooking the city. Inside is a cozy home with a warm fireplace and some dining space. Not to mention a small study. There's also a fair amount of storage available, as you can see here. There is naturally a full bedroom for you to use, with another cozy fireplace of course. As well as a magical lab for your convenience. You'll also find a full assortment of ingredient jars for your personal use. As well as an entire floor dedicated to display space. This week's gameplay mod of the week is Dangerous Roads of Ardenfell by Darklit Jupiter. With this mod, you'll find much greater evidence of the perils that await the common citizen on Vardenfell's roads, as you can see here. You may even on occasion find raided ships along the shorelines, with their cargo vandalized and crew dead. Not all scenes of violence have no survivors though. Sometimes you can clearly see the aftermath of a raid gone wrong. There's also plenty of evidence of bandit activity, with the occasional raid at home. Indeed, with this mod, the dangers of the wilderness have never been so apparent. For our town mod of the week this week, we have Nissa's Expanded by Craigle. What this mod does is expand Nissus, namely in two particular areas, of a large expansion of Fort Darius, including a bridge across the river. There's also a handful of new detail areas, like these waterfalls over here. And here you can see our title screenshot again. It accidentally got left in during editing, though it is quite a lovely sight if I do say so myself. There's also a new neighborhood of farmhouses along the edge of town, as you can see here. And you'll also find a small docks district. Including transportation services up and down the coast. Naturally, there's a bunch of new interiors and NPCs as well. And each new NPC has a background unique to them, so they all have a bit of a story. You'll also find a few quests to do here as well. This includes a new dungeon for you to explore, as you can see here. There's also some opponents for you to face. As you can see here, they can put up quite a challenge. You can even buy a new house here, if you so desire. And it comes fully furnished. For our items mod of the week this week, we're taking a look at the Tea mod by Stupostall. With this mod, you'll find a couple of new tea shops on Vardenfell, including one at Ebonheart. Inside you'll find a lot of tea and tea-like items, as you might expect. Including some new books about tea. There's also coffee, but I'm not much of a coffee man myself. Give me some black English or Irish tea, like some Twinings, or berries, or Bromleys. But not Tetleys. I don't like Tetleys. I think they have a strange aftertaste. But anyway, black tea. Give me that and I'll be happy. But no coffee. But anyway, you can also get chocolates here. Or order some special brews. As you can see, there's quite a bit of tea-based dialogue. And naturally, there's a ton of tea goods for sale. You can also ask people about their favorite teas. And you can even get your fortune told. Presumably using tea leaves. Next up is our quest mod of the week, and this week we have Andan Mirren Reclaimed by Danae. This mod rebuilds the vanilla dungeon of Andan Mirren from the ground up, with new decorations, some of which you can see here. As you can see here, this dungeon is much different from before, with lots of new storage options lining the walls. And there's even a new opponent or two to face. Now, once you clear the place out, you can claim it for your own. Including a functional skooma distillery. Not to mention a skooma recipe for making your own skooma. There's also some ingredient cabinets. And an alchemy lab. And not to mention a poison extractor for when you need to make a few poisons. You can eventually turn this cave into your own smuggling operation. With the help of an escaped slave, that is. She has quite a bit of dialogue on the operation of smuggling. You can sort the contraband from your inventory into this chest over here. And your weekly profits from smuggling will show up in this gold chest. You can choose to invest this contraband into a particular type of good, like lockpicks or soul gems. And they'll show up in a particularly marked container, like this one. Alternatively, you can choose to sell your goods and make a large profit right away, which will only increase as you kill nearby competing smugglers. For our Landmass Mod of the Week this week, we have Raj 1 by Inari. Rash is a new landmass southeast of Vardenfell, as you can see here. And it has a rather large shack village that acts as the home of a large group of Argonians. You'll find that the people of this fair island have a number of quests for willing adventurers. Including a main quest about a terrible new disease that's striking fear into the inhabitants. With this, there's of course a ton of new dialogue to check out as well. The island itself is quite pretty, with quiet winding roads, like you can see here. And a beautiful southern lake, with roaring surrounding landscapes. And of course, you'll also find varying environments, including an active volcano region. As you can see here. You also come across some new dungeons, including a cult of strange clan-fur worshippers. It should also be noted that this is only part 1 of a 3-part French trilogy, and that the author would like help translating the other 2 parts, which includes some 70 hours of content in total. This week's NPC Mod of the Week is Jasmine by Jack. This is a quest companion mod that starts out with a simple rumour in Cedar Inn, and eventually leads to you rescuing Jasmine from a nearby cave. From there, you'll get to visit Jasmine's house, where she'll happily join you in your adventures. Jasmine comes fully equipped with Grumpy's companion scripting, so she has all the features you might expect in a companion mod. And she naturally has some background story and secrets of her own as well. Here you can see the interior of Jasmine's house, and it's quite lovely indeed. You can also stay here in between adventures. She also has quite the collection of written works for you to read, including a number that she's written herself, as you can see here. Eventually, you'll get to do a few quests with Jasmine, and meet a number of characters close to her, as you learn more of her story. For our new Meshes and Textures mod of the week this week, we have Old Doomer Books by Yar Yum. This mod simply replaces all the old Dwemer books found in the Tribunal expansion, with new ones that include actual graphics and beautiful Dwemeri writing. So they look much more like actual Dwemer books than they did before. As you can see here. Next up is our Modder's Resource Mod of the Week, and this week we have Kyrell's Furniture Statics by Kyrell. This modder's resource includes a large number of retextured furniture pieces, including chairs and rugs, as well as stools, and tables of various types. Not to mention lots of trays. Many of the tables have different stone top surfaces, while the chairs have a number of fabric patterns. And the serving trays come in wood, cloth, metal, and stone. As you can see here, this is only a small handful of the total resources included in this package. With these resources, you can really make your interiors feel varied and unique. For our underrated mod of the week this week, we have Ascadian Caravan by Crinkriller. This mod adds a parked caravan to the southern shores of the Azurian Isles, with a bit of a backstory to it. It even includes some new helms for you to check out as well. Inside you'll find a small but lovely home, including a number of containers using Danae's Modder's resources. For a small caravan home, you'll find plenty of space to store your various goods here, and it makes for a good base of operations in the Azurian Isles. This week's Blast from the Past mod of the week is Castle Valdoral by Geonox and Centurion. Castle Valdoral is a stately old castle off on its own island, between Vardenfell and Solstein. The castle and its grounds have the air of a haunted mansion, with a property both overgrown and falling apart. Not to mention the constant thunderstorms. There's even a graveyard to complete the haunted feel of the place. Inside you'll find a flickering, dim great hall, with just enough light to be a little creepy. You'll find long winding halls, filled with strange portraits. As well as a moderately normal bedroom. And naturally, there's a library. With a book of riddles about the dark secrets the castle holds. As if all the portraits weren't enough, there's an entire hall of them, as you can see here. There's many secrets and hidden chambers in Castle Valdoral, should you dare to go looking for them. Finally, for our bonus mod of the week this week, we have Morrowind Redecorated, Balmora, by Loosefall. What this mod does is add some extra detail and character to various interiors around Balmora, like Revere's little hangout here. This mod also adds some new rooms, like at the pawnbroker here, who didn't have a bedroom before. Some houses have had extra decorations spread throughout the house, as you can see here. You also find children's bunk beds, a handy detail feature if you have Children of Morrowind installed. That's it for this week. As always, you can find the download links for all the mods shown in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you did. I'll see you all next week with another 13 mods for your viewing pleasure.